The evasion, the Drunken Brawler feels amazing. And Lumi, I want you to expand on this. You were mentioning, like, well, just maybe you just skip the ult entirely as Brew.
Well, no, you don't skip the ult because it's a very strong teamfight ability, but you don't have to make it an ult-centric hero like, Blink Dagger and all that jazz. He will probably eventually get a Blink, but if Pimp could show the Brewmaster talent tree, you could see that if you pick all the left side of the talent tree, he becomes an ultra tanky hero, especially the 20 strength at level 20, as well as the 15% magic resist at 15. That is going to make you a lot of time waltz into a team fight, tank a lot of ability, and still just gets off the ult. And honestly, if you storm a support Brewmaster, I think as MP, you're like, yeah, I'm okay. It guarantees me getting off my golem.
Maybe the
Ember
doesn't die. Yeah.
So
it could work.
It's a very interesting look. It comes down to how Aoi plays it. He tends to be a little bit greedy, so we might see a Midas or two, but we'll see.
Certainly, if there's a support that could benefit from a Midas, given
sure.
how level dependent Brew is, probably one of the most level dependent supports in the game. No, it feels weird to even say that, but he certainly is as a support hero. So we'll see how the game develops. Obviously, heavy team fight for NP. I think that's the big thing. They see that Darkseer Disruptor opening, but honestly feels like they can match and potentially even exceed the team fight that IG bring to the table in some ways.
For sure. I think if you look on paper, the draft favors NP because they just have the Sven like on lockdown, right? You have the Drunken Haze, you have the Stone Gaze from Dusa, but
the Rock.
Yeah, they have a lot supposedly on paper
Cogs.
against Sven, but every time I see Burning on Sven, he is so mobile. Once he picks up the Blink Dagger, he is able to avoid a lot of that ability.
And there's Vacuum Crush, Static Storm, Kinetic Field. So there's a lot of control helping the Sven if NPs slip up.
Yeah.
So it really will come down to execution, which is honestly the most fun kind of Dota to watch, I would say.
Yeah, one last statement before we get into a laning phase is that I think you're going to see team fights draw out very long where IG will try to bait out Stone Gaze, bait out the Panda Ultimate. They will retreat and then fight again. But
Envy taking quite a few karate chops. Snake Lady doesn't like that too much. But one other thing to talk about with the Brew is he kind of fills that role of a tree in the sense that he's good at trading early, especially if you get the 1 point in the passive, you get a point in the haze, you've already got pretty good base damage, decent stats. So he can bully a little bit, which is obviously something Tree excels at. And we are already seeing AUI just doing exactly that, giving a little whack to Q, forcing him back. So gives them that laning presence that perhaps they were lacking.
Yeah, he's not nearly as mobile as Tree because one of AUI's like sickest play so far in the tournament is just like walking around Tree, scouting out smoke gangs and stuff like that. As a Brewmaster, you won't be able to do that in the mid game, but he definitely makes it up in different regards.
Now the slight worry here is Fonda is not farming. 2 CS 2 minutes in. Is getting his levels for now, but certainly Queen of Pain's not the easiest matchup early, and Bavoka is pressuring the crap out of him.
Yeah, it's a 2v1 situation, and AI is getting the advantage elsewhere on the bottom side. Look at those cards. Okay.
With the boots, Disruptor ain't going very far. But he's going to grab a haste rune, so. Bavoka continues to bully Fada, so the trade, of course, is Ember being shut down. And 9 denies on the Quap, so you're looking at a very early level 6 at this rate.
How do you feel about Clockwork? Because MP definitely have a lot of confidence in the hero. They first picked it for themselves. Do you think like just making sure MSS getting more farm is more important than your Ember getting farm, you say? Because that's what they're doing by dedicating Aoi here.
Obviously not in the long term, like getting to a quick level 6-7 and then having an impact could be, but hold that thought because they have found an opening here on AUI. Great cogs by MSS, turning this fight around, actually trapping and burning, might end up being the first blow with the battery assault going. He's going to drop low, just barely able to get out of range. The Warcry move speed just enough, but you can already see Clockwork will have a big impact in this game, especially early with the cogs. The battery assault can be a nuisance as they continue to post up here on the bottom lane. I think early it's totally fine, and then it's up to MSS to rotate. Clockwork also fantastic at punishing Darkseer and really at all stages of the game. If you catch him out, you limit the team fight potential of IG massively. They are quite reliant on the vacuum to set up everything.
I mean, in itself, it's also a risky maneuver, right? Because you could put the level and farm in the Clockwork, but his kills are not guaranteed. So if MSS misstabs or have a bad gank or two, that can be pretty bad for NP.
In theory, he can also help catch the Ember up by ganking his lane, and the two of them together are a pretty fearsome duo. We'll see how it develops. For now, a lot of pressure, but I I mean, Louis, this mid lane, 23-13 on the Quap to 6-0 on the Ember. Baboka doesn't even need to be there anymore. Like, Quap can easily just continue to handle Fada 1v1. He actually had to go home. Coming back now, so they need to make up for it elsewhere. And they're trying for it on Bernie, but these dire creeps are apparently turncoats. They seem to be playing more for the Radiant side. If anything, MSS says, I don't need their support. Finds the kill anyway. First blood for him, and much needed for NP.
Yeah, that was some Bobo creeps right there, because if it weren't for the creeps, that's the first blood on Bernie.
How appropriate.
Yeah. I mean, we are in C, so.
Q's going to TP back bottom.
Oh, the South.
Salve up Bernie. Will MSS be able to cancel this? Doesn't look like. Now the rotation comes, and it's AUI with the DD, putting some pressure on another Baboka.
Bottom lane here, and again, MSS getting the cogs here onto.
Bernie needs to soak up some of this damage if Q is to have any chance of living, but it's not going to happen. MSS scoring another kill, and that early start he got from AUI already paying itself off in spades.
Well,
I guess the question's answered. It certainly was worth it.
Yeah, this is why you pick Clockwork early for MSS. He's quite good in the hero.
And they really need some vision so that they know if the clock's off on the trees. Disruptor otherwise cannot leave the Sven side safely. And now the walk of shame, Lumi.
So you don't usually expect a Clockwork to, you know, get so much out of the early game. I wonder if that means anything like too big. Like, he does have an early earn. Like, that can in itself snowball into a couple more kills. You don't actually see your earns that much on Clockwork because he's more like worried about getting that blade mail and whatnot, or a force staff.
They have brought 3 down, and the creeps are going to scout MSS out. So they got eyes on the clock. There is a brew behind him. Very curious to see how AUI looks to play this. He's been focused quite a bit on roaming early. Has just gone for the 1-0-1.
And the reason that you don't see Brewmaster support all that much is that if he falls behind, which he currently is somewhat behind right now when it comes to level and farm, it's really hard for this hero to recover. He can't flash farm that effectively because his mana pool is too small to spam clap for days. So I wonder if he's going to pick up an Iron Tower.
Bottom lane looking to make their move here on MSS. Done to start, but well-positioned cogs are going to keep MSS safe inside his cage. Baboka will follow up with a crush. And then the cage comes through again from the Disruptor, but the Dome does not assemble in time. He'll make it back to safety. A lot of space created by MSS, who now might look to go in here on the Q. He gets the cogs off. He keeps Bernie and Baboka away. They can't even help their friend. Can't even soak up the damage. Getting pushed out at the last second.
Rocket.
Might save Q. The Rocket says no. It's MSS again with the plays, and now they want more. Fada jumping in. Oh, doesn't commit. Didn't have the vision there to set up those chains. So he wisely, I think, retreats, expecting perhaps another TP as well. Queen of Pain potentially could join this at any moment.
That's definitely true. I don't think even with the jump in, he had vision of where the Slaughter was. I think if he saw the Slaughter with the tree breaking, then might have definitely committed for the kill, but safety first.
This Clockwork is a huge problem for them.
Yeah, level 6 already.
Sven is not farming as well as he could be. I already see Envy, solid 14 CS on top of him. So he's slowing down the Sven's farm. He's getting kills. And later on in the game, fantastic at shutting down the Darkseer and potentially finding those pickoffs.
Yeah, and because he's level 6 so early, that frees up a lane for Brewmaster to catch back up, because Ember will take one of the lane, Brewmaster will take another, and then you expect Clockwork to be off the map right now. So
top tower
good stuff. First major item for Fata, question mark. LD, take it away.
He is poor. It depends, right? If he gets a couple of kills, I think maybe he tries to play greedy or goes for the bots, but you know, if he doesn't have that explosive
this is multiple choice. There's no it depends on the scan run.
It does,
A, B, or C.
Dota.
A, B, or C?
You'd pick.
I think I like Veil here because it synergizes so much.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's going to get that many kills, so I would lean Veil, but if they have that crazy team fight, maybe
I mean, I would say Veil last game too, but he went BOTs.
But he had a better start last game.
True. We'll see.
Still sitting 20-something CS and 25 denies behind the quad. Now looking for the opening here in the river. OP jumping in on the Fada. Backup comes through.
So far, IG extremely disciplined. They know the Clockwork's off the map. They know he's level 6, and they're not getting picked. Which they're essentially saying, look, I know you have an early 6 on clock, but that advantage is being nullified. So good stuff here, and it is limiting on where IG can farm, and they have to be much more careful. They're missing more CS because of that, but at least Clock's not getting kills.
So when does IG start to break down the lanes? We haven't seen OP rotate yet, just content to sit mid. Deuce's free farming. Clock obviously took over bottom, still there getting levels. Bruise catching up mid. When do they make their move?
I think IG is in a very similar situation as MP was in game 1, where they have to buy their time, wait for the key item, the mech on the Darkseer, the blink on the Sven. So honestly, the best thing for them to do is make sure they have TP scroll. When the Clockwork Tower dives, you make sure you get the counter kill and just keep on farming up. I don't think they really have any avenue to go on the offensive as of yet.
Fada's going to make that journey down bottom. We'll start jungling a bit. Meanwhile, Brewmaster being pursued in the mid lane is OP. Looks for the dive on AUI, gets off the screen, commits the ult. See you later, buddy. Nice clean kill for him, and the first quad bolt gets him on the board.
Normally spending a first quad ult just for a support kill is not what you want, but the pacing of this game is so slow that I think they're okay with just getting anything on the board.
They do rotate Burning and was ready to get that God Strength damage in on the tower, but NP commit the double TP, and so Burning will just back away to the jungle. Good ward here by NP, you can see. Keeping tabs on Burning as he rotates. So they know this bottom lane is safe for now.
I am a little bit more curious about the OP Veil choice, though. It doesn't synergize that well with the rest of his team. It's mostly just for himself. The armor is nice, but I wonder if, you know, like an Orchid or a Yules might be a little bit better.
AUI might be in trouble here. Hugh gonna reel him back in. There's the Glimpse connection. Does not have the ultimate yet, but coming in with the initiation is MSS, but do they have the follow-up? OP wants to commit for this. He gets clipped by the change. He gets punished too. Not respecting the Ember's firepower. Fauna commits in, and they grab the Quap kill. A nice bait and a big play.
And really overestimating their own nuking potential, right? Like, that was a level 1 Thunderstrike, that was a very low-level Slaughter, and you don't have the Sonic Wave. Even when you get the Glimpse back, it's still a Brewmaster. He's very, very tanky at this point in the game, so I think IG definitely overestimated the size of their EP and was not able to seal the deal.
Only the most professional casting wins.
Yep.
Here comes the TP. We're going to rotate the Darkseer in. Should be close to the mech. Looks like he is relatively close. They're going to move in on Envy's Dusa. Vacuum him back, commit pretty heavily to this. Baboka's still moving forward, but Pi is there, just waiting on the sidelines. They know he doesn't have the Golem just yet. They won't quite kill off Envy, but they force another TP. Do they get punished on the way out? AUI is here. Baboka on the run. Looks like Clock also trying to set something up in the mid lane. As Fada maybe baiting OP in. Chasing forward. Going for those auto attacks, jumps up to the high ground. He does not have his ultimate just yet, and MSS is there looking for the punish. The combo now available will drill Fada, but pays the price, a 1-for-1 core trade. Take says, you know what? I need that extra HP after the way things have gone.
I don't think that was a good trade, LD. Like, he is by far the heaviest net worth player for his team, so he needs to accelerate, and trading a 1-for-1 against the Ember that's already on Struck City is, I don't think, the way to go. You see the Clockwork there, you know it's going to be at best a 1-for-1. But
I guess in good news, you're feeding a Clock who's not going to scale as well with items.
Dude, have you seen his late game talents? He does take off. I don't know. It's not uncommon to see Clock having like 30k, 40k damage in the late game if the game does go long enough. I think, in fact, MSS did have a game like that this tournament. So
we'll find out.
Yeah.
So Envy's going to take over mid. Seems Fauna might retreat to a safer climb to get his farm as he continues to be under constant duress in this lane. Envy getting pretty tanky already with the... Is he
Blade Mail.
Blade
He's going Blade Mail.
Blade Mail do so.
Seems a little bit odd, but if you break down the item, it does give you very good stats. A lot of what Dusa wants. The mana, the attack damage, is all good.
Here comes Fada. Rocket's there, and Baboka will break the smoke, but also gets caught. Nice pick for NP. They had all of their ults available now. The Brew split online, the Rock too. Maybe they move into the pit. They seem to be thinking about it. No, they're going to bypass it, head towards top. They have vision on that Burning Sven, and they would sure love to take the big knight down.
No Clockwork. Oh, no, they do have Clockwork.
No, they have everything.
Yeah. MSS
but he's bottom right
yeah,
now.
Bottom right. So I wonder if this
mass
is...
Blade Mail strat. They're getting one on Clock too, so...
Yeah, I mean,
Ember could quite likely build one, triple blade mail.
it makes it really hard for a hero like Sven, because you basically when you go in, you just want to commit all your damage on one player, right? So.
Also, Quap, if you time that ult wrong,
yeah.
you are just dead, even
Yeah,
with your plus 10 strength.
That's definitely true.
All right. This is an interesting strat.
Yeah. Again, I have to remind you guys that IG picked into this, right? They didn't have a last pick. They didn't have to last pick Sven, but they did. So.
Well, everyone thought he was too strong in 7.06. Got that bit of a nerf in version B, but still IG having faith in the hero. And they are going to make their move here. Rock getting dropped to try and counter-initiate the Static Storm. Everything thrown onto Envy. Will they be able to burst him down, though? He's not quite dead yet. He gets clips back. He walks away, and the Bruce Split's going to turn it. OP thinking about a jump forward, but MSS looks for the counter-initiation. Burning going to eat his way out of the cog, slapping there, but he does get Boulder Toss stunned. Crush following up, still disengaging. Burning sprinting back. Everybody running away, and it looks like nobody going to die. They force out the Bruce Split. They force out the Rock. IG don't lose anyone. They did commit a lot of their own ults, but theirs are generally shorter cooldowns.
Yeah, I think IG is advantage there. I'm so very surprised that IG are willing to take these fights, because clearly NP has the better teamfight ultimates, but I think for that particular engagement, they were expecting a little bit less people and a little bit slower response perhaps from NP.
Fada's going to journey back towards mid, so yeah, this is a Blade Mail rush for him as well. Not going to be the Veil or the BMTs. See, Lumi, this is why you say it depends.
I'm actually more curious in terms of what item that Brewmaster is going to go for. It looks like he has a drums queued up. Definitely will help out with his mana issues.
Envy getting glimpsed back here right as he tries to TP away, so he'll be a sad panda. They're going to back him directly back in the middle of the fray. He's out of mana. He could be in a lot of trouble. Envy low, but not dead yet. The mech gets popped. They still want to chase. Simultaneously, XXS has to be careful. Low on HP and the hook's there. MSS with the connection. He's caught OP though. Can OP blink out of time? He's going to chew his way through the cogs. He gets pushed back. He will escape. MSS maybe still hunting that pesky Darkseer. The Conehead retreats to the north, but the Rocket's going to keep the vision, and Pi can blink away at him. Looks like only a matter of time with the TP on cooldown. They're going to have to sack the Darkseer. Sleight of Fist there, Remnant through. Oh, space created. He keeps on going, and the tower and the Rocket will finally end the chase, but well, at least he bought some time.
Yeah. I mean, Darkseer dying at this point isn't the worst. I mean, he already has his
his first big item. It's not great, but it's not the end of the world.
He is very high net worth for the team, though. I am more surprised by the fact that IG are able to take these fights and still maintaining their net worth. Like, look at the triple net worth. It's only Envy farming better. And Boboka has gone his free farm lane now, so I imagine the Blink Dagger is going to be coming up relatively soon. Even though the game is not looking good for IG right now, I don't think they're that far behind.
No, certainly not. And when the game's close with this many explosive ultimates, it really is going to come down to execution. So when you look at who's going to execute better, vision will be big. You obviously have great pick-off potential with the Corrosive Haze into a Glimpse, as well as with the Vacuum setup. But Boca might be the one who goes down first here to start the fight. MSS looking for an opening, ready to shoot that hook out. Diving at the tier 2. Seems he's going to commit for it if he gets the angle he's hoping for.
Yeah, he needs to wait for the Slaughter to run away from the creep wave. Back to his tower, Rocket Flare, give away the vision, force him
buddy,
away.
I'm coming for you. And they are going to commit here, but perhaps MSS is going to get punished for this. Corrosive Haze on him. And Sopa Boca alive. They've got to make sure they finish this kill. The medical assistance of XXS will keep him alive. MSS still sticking around. The rock gets dropped will be enough to bring down that pesky Fishman. They even blew the Brewmaster ult. They need to get 2 kills out of this fight, ideally. Still MSS surviving. Even with the glimpse back, XXS will commit and finally brings him down. Very tanky Darkseer. Now Fada joining the fray. Tries to run away. Can Fada bring him down? Remnant forward, commits a lot. Gets caught with the crush under the tower. He's pretty low armor. Has to be careful, but actually it's the Blade Mail. That's going to help him out. Finally Burning shows up. Late to the party. Ideal time to come in. They will find the turnaround here. 2 dead. Possibly looking at a third. No, AUI going to make it away. So a 2-for-2 exchange. And again, those big ults getting dropped, but these fights are not clear wins for NP.
I think that was a clear defeat for NP. Clearly the goal was to actually kill the Slaughter, right? Slaughter came out of the fight with more gold. I think he earned like 300-400 gold in that fight. Queen of Pain did not die. We're going to watch it one more time. Notice Boboka's smart position. He knows he's going to be clear. He's not going to die, but instead of going away and going away from the fight, he hides in the tree. He knows he could come back with more crushes. And he does so. I think he actually ended up casting 2 to 3 crushes in that team fight. Also, MP's decision to constantly isolate the Queen of Pain is very interesting as well. He's very low mana, but they keep constantly cycling him to take the Queen out of the fight.
Yeah, she gives them most of their sustained damage. Unless the Sven is there, they are pretty light in the damage department without her. So I like that choice by AUI. But yeah, another death for Fada. He's not had the easiest time this game. The good news was Jackie Mao was farming top that whole time. So in some ways, NP getting a little extra farm out of it.
Jackie Mao.
Maboka gonna smoke in and scout him, but that is a tough kill at this stage of the game when he's got full mana. And especially with the Blade Mail.
These constant ganks onto Jackie is very reminiscent of teams trying to kill him when he was playing the Bristleback, right? Do you think this is really the target that you should be going for if you're IG? It's a tough kill.
I think you're a little more afraid of the Dusa late game than the Bristle. Especially given that Fada's been fairly well shut down so far.
It's just because he is so hard to kill, it gives MP a ton of time to come in with the golems and the clockwork hooks and all that jazz.
Yeah, they're definitely similar in that regard.
Right. But of course, in that engagement, they were on cooldown, so good choice to select the gank, but unfortunately they were unable to pick it up.
All right, so when do we see a big move from IG? For the most part, I mean, they have been content to play defense to react to NP. Does that change at any point, or is that just the longer-term game plan?
Normally, I would say the Slardar Blink pickup, and he's only like 200 gold away from that. But I think right as he picks up the Blink, the ultimates on MP side are going to be back up. So I don't think they will have a good opportunity. Maybe if you see like somebody just horribly out of position, you go for the kill. But apart from that, I think IG should just farm, because so far, as the graph shows, they are maintaining a decent farm advantage over MP. The graph says it's very even, but just look at the cores of IG. They are doing quite well.
NP taking it slow in their own right. So a relatively sedate pace here. Despite a 6-kill lead, it's a dead even game, which, yeah, just goes to show how well IG have farmed. Certainly Sven is fantastic at it, Quap, and even Darkseer also pretty good farming cores.
Look at Darkseer, he's queuing up for Midas. He knows where this game is going. LD, this is
but
gonna be...
who do you favor in that scenario? I mean, do you have a clear edge to either team if it does go towards that, ultra late game scenario?
I mean, I did mention that Clock is decent damage output. You have the Fatal Bond, you have Ember, but I mean, it's just all in the Dusa, right? And we've seen Dusa being corralled in the late game in a 5v1 situation. So I think it's unclear, especially when things like Corrosive Haze is in picture, level 25 Quabs is in picture. Maybe even, Aghanim Scepter Ultimate from Q if it does go that late. I think it's hard to say, LD.
It certainly feels like IG is more raw damage output with the Sven Slardar combo, Queen of Pain scaling pretty hard with her own DPS, but they might have a harder time getting that damage out there.
Yeah. The one factor I forgot to mention is missing, right? Like, you have Corrosive Hazes coming out. That could be a big deal for Brewmaster. Brewmaster is also a very natural Heaven's Halberd.
The Drunken Haze.
Sorry, what did I say?
Corrosive.
Oh, sorry.
Although I imagine that stuff would probably do some pretty nasty things. Maybe you would rather be drunk.
Yeah. And both teams also will be getting Heaven's Halberd to shut down the opposing carry. So we're going to see a lot of fights where it's just people standing around trying to reposition themselves and whatnot.
A soldier's fortune.
So Slardar Blink online. Darkseer did take that extra cast range talent. So the combo is ramping up.
Yep.
If IG hits that crazy combo, NPR, I don't think any amount of ultimates will turn around, aside from maybe a well-timed Deuce ult, but so much of the damage with that combo is just instant AoE nuke damage if they get it off. Potentially devastating. And again, that's where you really want to keep your eyes on the Vision game, who's going to have the better wards. For now, the wards of IG look fantastic. Just all kinds of vision around the map, a bit more limited from NP.
Yep.
But they do have the clockwork as the X factor.
So now with the Sven Blink Dagger pickup, I think the Radiant team has enough burst damage to just like pick one off instantaneously. However, if they don't pick that person off, then they could get wombo comboed on pretty hard. So IG has to select their targets very wisely.
And they're also chasing towards territory where reinforcing is quick as they approach IG towers under cover of smoke. Not going to see that opening. That's a link for Envy. A little bit more standard now.
Yep. Not exactly the greatest spells that it's going to be blocking, but at the end of the day, a great stats item for
IG with the counter smoke. This could be big. Baboka looking for the opening, but it's high in position to break that smoke. So he gets revealed. Unfortunately, Envy on his own, but there is a good hook coming in. MSS looking to turn the tides. The quad bolt, not the best at all. Really only does damage to MSS, and Envy getting pulled back in, but alive for now. Burning, turned into stone by the gaze. Envy, oh, that's an ugly snake, but it's doing the trick. Now the chase forward. Bottom trying to bring Burning down. He will be successful. They remove the Sven from the fight. For now, the Darks here unable to contribute. Quap's got to blink away. A clear win for NP, and they might be able to grab 2 more core kills on the back of it. They throw that Quap up in the air. They'll take down XXS, and now, as he drops back down, it's into the cogs of MSS, ready and waiting. OP won't make it out. NP, a full 5-man wipe.
They're all dead. Where's that sound wheel? That's a perfect
I think
moment.
it's been muted.
Oh, it is. Well, like I said, you got to make sure you select the right target when it goes on the initiation. They, I think, selected the worst one, the Dusa that just picked up the Lincolns. There was no way they're going to get the kill on her. And of course, the Rock came down, the Panda Brewmaster ult came out as well. And I'm not sure how much Sven actually right-click, because the Brewmaster is just going to control you non-stop.
Yeah, Envy got pushed out of the way there, so the Quap ult missed him. Maybe he's... I think even then he probably still lives through this fight. Might have died eventually, but...
It was actually pretty close to dying, but the multiple arcane boots, the Shadow Word, killing him back up.
That's the thing with NP, is the clock is just such a disruptive hero that you have this big team fight combo, but if someone is out of position, suddenly you're not getting that combo off. So we didn't see the potential of IG in this fight. We saw that they can be caught off, you know, not able to combo their spells, and then they're not nearly as scary.
Well, the small advantage that IG had is now completely evaporated. And I think MP, the next move is to kind of put them in a chokehold. Make sure that you keep IG in the base and, you know, farm the rest of the map, take down the tier 2, things like that. But
they're going to jump on Envy again. Well, last time this didn't work out too hot, but they also see Pyrelight die. Perhaps a slightly easier kill. The Static Storm deployed as zoning Static Storm, and that's really it. Espada jumping forward onto the Disruptor, going to find the opening kill, and now it's chaos for IG, getting back in. They turn the fight around with the Queen of Pain on. A decent crush from Boboka could secure this kill. AUI is going to drop. Envy, meanwhile, standing his ground, though, and they're going to lose Burning. Sven out of the picture. These trades are certainly not IG favored, as Vada, smelling blood in the water, is going to chase out that Darkseer, goes for the chains. Won't have the right timing. NP, though, still clearly the victors again, and doing this without the big team fight ults ready really does make you worry the next time those are up.
very reminiscent of game 1, where before the GG call from IG, they just were compelled to take a fight because of the ults were down, but just because of the ults is down. Oh, did it cancel the TP? Yes, they did.
Fada, persistent. And persistence pays off. MSS there ensuring Baboka ain't getting out of this one. An extra cherry on top for NP.
Vata's got that PLDT fam cam. Don't go too far, sweetie. And then, you know, got him.
That's great. You're making me uncomfortable.
Look, man, I've been here all week watching these great commercials.
They are quite dank.
Oh, man.
All right, well, this is not working for IG. What do they need to change?
High ground, I suppose, right? I don't see them winning a fight outside the base anymore.
So avoid fights and just turtle up, basically.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to get a good kill before the fight happens, I guess your best target is Warlock. But the way that Pylite is positioned, he is not going to get caught out. And it's like you mentioned, it's so hard to catch a person without having the other 4 not instantly being there. The Clockwork and the Ember are both so mobile that they will just be in the center of the fight.
I don't think many people would have put this in their predictions. We're going to see a Solar Crest Ember, so it's all about making the Dusa as big and bad as possible. You combine that with the mischance the Brew brings to the fights, and not to mention all the other tools they have to fight the Sven, and suddenly he's not really doing much, even if he has that big damage output on paper.
Yep.
Interesting choice by Fada.
Roshan is going to be the fight here. Perhaps even baiting IG into fighting. And I don't think IG can take this fight.
Envy with the fortuitous DD rune, MSS in position. And if they stick around too close to the pit, he's going to make an aggressive move forward. He just got a glimpse there of the Darkseer. If you throw out a Wild Hook, I think he'd be too far away from his team. So lets them back. Free Aegis for Envy. tower's still being held. That's the other big thing for NP. They have all outer towers except one at 28 minutes in the game. Certainly map control is in their favor now.
Now we did see Newbie and in particular IG both as well that they do rely on Queen of Pain a lot to kind of extend out the game and split push. And I think OP, that's going to be his primary goal number one. The problem is it's going to be hard to actually get away scot-free with it. Clockwork is going to be always looking for you. Although I don't think really Clock could force out a kill on the Queen. But it's going to be a nuisance.
Yeah, not by herself. And he has gone fairly defensively with the Yule Scepter to hopefully ensure he makes out of fights. Building back towards an Orchid. Eventually could lend that true strike assistance to Bernie to ensure he can actually focus down a particular target. Bernie just lurking in the wings here. Perhaps waiting for a jump on Fada. Fada heads the other way. See Bernie not very confident to go farming the way he was earlier this game.
That Clockwork, man, it's scary. He doesn't have the BKB just yet. He is building towards it, but he doesn't have a quick way to get out. Clockwork hook.
Oh, swing and a miss from MSS, but Fada's on the case. Gets the chains, now the urn comes through. Gonna destroy that creep as a remnant forward. All but secures the kill. Baboka still running, and Fada slamming the door. NP scurries in from the side. And another nice kill for NP.
Yep. Good urn here by MSS. Has been paying dividends, flopping the urn, making sure that the Blink Dagger will always be kept on cooldown, so no jukes into this.
OP trying to debut his Orchid here, committing onto that Warlock, but he's quite tanky. Has to drop the ult. A Blink Scream forward will get the kill. Does he make it out? There's the Yules, and away he goes. So OP creating a little space, and that is something IG need. They have to start finding a little room on the map, even if it's a support kill, just get some of this confidence and momentum out of NP's court.
I mean, even though it's just a Warlock kill, a 5-position Warlock, the way that NP has built their team is they want every single player to be team fighting. Like you mentioned with the solo press on Ember, it's all about powering up Dusa, right? And without the Warlock support and the Warlock Fatal Bonds, they would not be taking a team fight. So getting a Warlock is almost as good as getting any other member because you know you're delaying a lot.
Envy almost has a Scotty here with still 2 minutes to go on the Aegis. You throw the Solar Crest on top of him, and this Dusa is going to feel like she maybe has like 1 or even 2 extra items if you have the Drunken Haze on the Sven when he's trying to hit her. Yeah. I don't see them killing Dusa once right now, once that Scotty's complete. Maybe even before it. And it might be before, because Envy is breaching the base now, trying to draw them back. See Queen of Pain not home for the time being. They have picked up the Force Staff here for what it's worth on the Disruptor. Perhaps can shove someone into a bad position.
They also know that there's no Sonic Wave. This is why Envy's playing so aggressive.
Does have it up now, though, so
okay, cool down.
The full complement of spells available. NP sitting back down Lady Dusa, but that's the power of the Force Staff that Q just got. He's going to push him in, traps him in the cage, brings most of his mana out of it. And now in a follow-up stun, the Aegis still at 1.5 minutes, as Envy will get pushed back. IG, though, very scary high ground lineup. Like you said, something NP have to respect. So they do good damage to the tower. They don't overcommit, but they will not walk away with a lane of Phyrexia.
That's, what, 80% of that tower? Mm-hmm. No tree to repair it, so...
Definitely a win for NP.
Yeah. I don't know if NP would make the same move now, though. I think they'll back up. Dusa, mana is low. Aegis is about to run out. I say that Dusa is still hanging about.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Taking over the enemy woods, and Envy perhaps just trying to ensure the economy game continues to go their way. He's going to rotate back on mid. And NP's looking like they might want to group up. 40 seconds on the Aegis. Most likely, if he dies, it's going to be after this expires, but he'll try to make the most of it while it's still available. Can get at least a few attacks off on the tower, perhaps. Will IG find the timing to punish? They will break the Lincoln Sphere. And now look for the opening. It's the 4-step forward to start things off. They get up the crush. They are going to drop the cage. The follow-up stun from Burning's there, and the Rock interrupts this combination. Forging XXS back and working on the tower. Envy wants to bring it down. That Aegis might not pop at the right time, though. Remember, there's a glimpse. He has to be careful about when he retreats. He's going to get reeled back in. Envy may have overplayed his hand. Aegis at 10 seconds. They don't want to kill him just yet. They're trying to time this perfectly for IG, but they keep Envy in view. They continue to chase. Oh, this could be bad. They've got to save Envy, John. Burning's on the chase. He smells blood. He wants Envy, but he's not going to get it for Aegis time. Envy slithers back to safety. They did drop the rock. They committed the Bruce split, and Envy has to retreat, so IG at least forcing out those ults, but do they get the kills on top of it now? Bringing the clock back into the fight. They will drop MSS. Burning, blinking forward, nobody home. He has missed his window. NP had to commit a lot to save that Dusa, but they did take the tower.
Yeah, I think they're going to lose at least a tier 1 on the way back as well, right? IG know that everything for you is already down. You don't have the Aegis, so let's go make a play.
Oh, the Halberd coming out now. So the Sven hate is certainly online. By the way, Burning did go for a Halberd of his own.
Yep. I think he had that before the BKB too.
Yeah, he did.
I'm surprised that there wasn't one used on Dusa to prevent that push from happening.
And obviously Halberd is a much stronger item than it used to be, now that it can't be dispelled by spell immunity.
Right. Are you surprised at all that Eternal Envy is not buying Manta style? Manta traditionally not a very good item on Medusa, but you can take off that Corrosive Haze, which is really the reason why he got so low in the first place. Orchid as well. Like, there's a lot of good stuff that you could break
There's
off.
so much AoE on IG though, right? Like, you've got the Queen of... you can break those spells, but that's basically all you're doing.
That's true.
Most likely.
Yeah. I mean, it's an okay stats item, but it's at the same time also not really worth, like, what, 5K?
I think in other games it's a better 6-slotted Deuce item, but I would probably rather something like a Butterfly this game.
Sure. Well, I mean, that Blade Mail eventually will get replaced, but not for now.
The Farm Fest continues, Lumi. Both teams content to take it slow. And I think it's NP just giving a lot of respect to that IG team fight. But this is where OP can come in. You mentioned he would need to be the one that like makes plays, split pushes, and he's done a pretty good job at it.
Yeah.
Of course, there is an Ember to somewhat answer, but Fada has to be careful. He can be solo killed by this Quap.
Yeah, the Bloodthorn.
Bloodthorn is a big problem. Also could be a real game changer going on Envy, potentially.
Especially now that he doesn't have the Manta to take off that Bloodthorn.
Right, and that's the thing, is maybe because of that, he really needs to consider it.
Yeah.
It's like late game, if the Sven's able to hit him, and the Bloodthorn's on him, he is going to drop fast once the ult's there.
I mean, are we...
A lot of ifs, a lot of theory crafting is not a whole lot of fighting in the last 10, 15 minutes.
Maybe the true answer is actually going to be a Lotus Orb, which is going to be coming out here from Brewmaster. Like, why make your carry commit for a, you know, a pseudo okay item when your support could solve that dilemma for you?
Certainly
Easy.
possible. Yeah, if it's really all about making Super Dusa. But meanwhile, IG finding little buckets of gold where they can. OP will poke down that tower bottom, so tower score starting to equalize. It's Envy sieging, taking these free outer towers. Bringing top down momentarily. Pine, backing him up, and you can see a dire scan, actually. Just surveying the fountain. They are looking now to establish more map control as Envy will work on the first Shrine takedown.
So Darkseer just picked up the Blink Dagger, which is, I would say, a core item in a lot of Darkseer games. But I think that this game he's going to find a very tough angle to actually get a lot of people in the back line. Because you know Dusa is going to just stand in the front. And it's going to be super hard to charge through the Dusa and get it off a good vacuum on the back line. The hero you really want are Warlock.
And maybe Brew.
Brewmaster, yeah.
The other thing
Maybe
is,
Ember,
you don't just want the Darkseer to jump in. It has to be with a stun, and then really it has to be with the Static Storm on top of it. But I don't believe Disruptor is close to a Blink.
Right.
He went for the Force Staff previously.
And the other thing is,
and you're unlikely to use that Force Staff to get close to where the Darkseer is blinking in. You're more likely to use either to save a teammate or to push the Dusa out of position.
like, even if you get off a good combo here, you still have to fight through the Stone Gaze. Like, the rest of the team has to still run through it. So I'm not sure if blinking in and surprising MP is the way to go.
IG on the move, though. Wrapping around through the woods. Putting XXS in front. And about to plunge south. Envy, public enemy #1, Could be scouted, but as you can see, our Remnant guards his way. And IG get cold feet. Yeah, they will back out. Head back to the safety of their side of the map, but walking by an NP ward up towards the north, and doing so, you have to be careful. Doesn't look like NP want to fight them just yet, but they are pushing through mid. They are starting to press forward, and it'll be a two-pronged assault. 3 heroes grouping up to the north, 2 heading down mid. Will they find any easy prey? Sven, probably not the easiest takedown for this trio. And looks like Burning's out of there anyway. Close to the MKB, which is a very important item this game.
So twice in a row now, IG has elicited to use a smoke gank during nighttime, and they are just really lacking vision over the map. And as a result, they're not going to be able to find a target that they want. And because MP has better map control, just through having better wards and just having the stronger team outside, I think the Roshan will get secured. If you put Aegis on this Juicer, it just could be GG, right? I don't think there's even closer to damage to kill Dusa twice.
The way you would beat the Dusa in a fight is if you somehow get the backliners first. But if
Right.
you have to go on the Dusa and try to kill her twice while all other 4 heroes are alive, then yeah, I don't see IG winning that fight. So it'll really come down to like if they find their openings. Is they do show the Darkseer here. XXS starting to poke, and IG not willing to give this Rosh up for free. They are going to play the ward game, but Envy prodding at the Roshan, and there's the jump forward. XXS trying to get vision on him. They can get that Corrosive Haze off, and that will make Envy's life a little bit trickier, knowing that if he ever runs the wrong way, could be glimpsed back. Meanwhile, trying to force their hand as he shoves in the bottom lane. They can send the Quap to deal with this decently well. Oh, might even be able to find Sir Fada.
There's no shrine to TP back for the Queen of Pain, so she's going to have to book it. Go, go, go.
Yeah, they're just trying to stretch them apart at the seams here. IG getting tugged to the bottom lane by Fada, and then Envy pulling them back to the Roach Pit. They are streaming that way. They do not want to give this up for free. It's XXS jumping in. The chains aren't there from Fada. Roach down to below half, and IG's hand may be about to be forced. There is no split push for now. Fada could throw out that Remnant and engage, but first IG are going to make their move. Stone Gaze from Envy, trying to lock the Darkseer in position. If they can separate him from the rest of the team, the combo won't be there, but AUI walks right into the meat grinder. He tanks the burning ult. Quickly going to drop. BKB committed. Can they find that follow kill? They're going to glimpse back. Now, next, and potentially a very important kill. The Ember Spirit isolated. Not dead yet, though. Fada will fall. They drop the rock, and they look to follow. Burning, deleted. Fada buying back and rejoining the fight immediately. They know this Aegis is crucial for the upcoming engagement. They want to get a little bit more for their trouble. Good force that by XXS. They will disengage. So a 2 for 2 with the buyback on the Ember to make it happen. So slight gold victory for IG, but NP will be happy with this if they get the Aegis. Will they? It looks like it'll be uncontested, though. You can see IG are somewhat in the neighborhood.
They don't have to Sven. Like, even if Sven buy back, there's no shrine to TP to, so...
Do they consider trying to steal it? Baboka was almost, it looked like he was thinking about it, but not going to happen.
Yeah, Fata, during that fight, right before he died, he doubled Remnant. So he was like, okay, I have Remnant in the fight. I can get back into it instantaneously, and he did.
I think you really have to credit Envy that fight. He really put IG in a hard place because when he Stone Gazed, he forced the Darkseer to run to the left, and he was not with the team. So they didn't get that combo off. Yeah, sure, they killed the Brewmaster, but there's no real follow-up to those 3 heroes. The Sven BKB'd and didn't hit anything after the Brew died, so I think that is all credit to Envy for his zoning.
And now top lane, XSS trying to zone people off mid lane as well.
Oh, Envy out in front.
He's got cheese.
He will be the beefy snake. Good luck trying to skin this one. They might have to try, though, as the racks are dropping dangerously low here. Perhaps going to play around buybacks. The Stone Gaze gets committed. And now Darkseer potentially could be the one who plays. Melee racks low. Envy going to bring it down. Still doing good damage here. Disruptor also in danger. Might want to get that glimpse off the Lincoln Sphere. Just now getting popped, though, so won't have the glimpse opportunity. They're going to look for the silence. The follow-up could come from Baboka jumping in onto Fada, but Fada able to juke him. Survives in the Cogs pushback. Isolates Burning, who 2P'd into a questionable position. He's now in danger here. BKB available, getting pushed out of the Cogs. He has to BKB and he has to run, and NP's there to cut him off with the pass. The stun comes through, but it's just a headlong retreat from IG as NP overwhelmed them, looking more and more like they might just be able to 2-0 IG, DAC champions, top 4 at the Kiev Major. NP finding their stride. This could be it, Lumi. The desperation fight. Do they get the opening they need? They're going to go on Envy. They really don't want to initiate on him, but already Queen of Pain revealed. They say, screw it, man. Let's just jump. XXS, first man in, gets the back, drops the wall. Where's the fall? The Burning Sun's there. They need a little bit more. Baboka coming in, looking for the crush. They've got good damage, but the Brew Split is going to prevent this follow-up. Baboka's got to run. Still Envy, full HP, surviving through it all. Pounding into OP, survives, looks forward, double buyback. They've got to win. They need these kills, and they're just not getting them. Envy's still alive, standing through it all, has the cheese if he needs it, pops it now, right back to full HP, and continues to lay into IG. Their tournament dreams in jeopardy. Storming forward onto Burning. Burning hardly hitting anything this game. Also having to deal with that pesky Warlock slow. He finally has to turn tail and run, but Envy, he's done his damage. There's a vacuum from Success. There is no follow-up now. He's the one in trouble. Chain down, Envy, staggering the retreat. Baboka still engaging. Good crush, and Pi a much easier kill. That's what IG needed. Perhaps what the dogs are ordered, but they've got to get a bit more. The Stone Gaze from Envy. Purely zoning tactics, but IG ain't gonna give it up this easy. They need this kill, and they need it bad. NP on the precipice, but can they close it out? The Static Storm gets dropped, and NP gonna walk into it. He doesn't care. He's a big, bad man. He'll bring them down. Sven, though, looking to turn the tides. The Aegis now gonna be committed, and Envy re-engaging onto Burning, kiting him, controlling him. That Sven doesn't have buyback. He'll be out of the game for a long time, and Burning will drop. Quelch. And now looking for a bit more.
It's a blink away. He tries to stay. There's no way he can man fight the Jackie Mao, and I think that's going to be a second lane of Rax.
Rax quickly dropping. NP surging into form at a critical moment with those TI invites. The golden tickets. Potentially awaiting the winners of this tournament. They keep their lower bracket run going here. And they ease their way towards a Game 2 victory. Good Cogs placement. As OP gets pushed back. IG. On the ropes now.
Still 60 seconds to the Sven, and it's going to be a long while. I mean, Sven, even a hero in this game, I'm not too sure. The wall gets dropped, but now Brewmaster split. That will help disable and assault vacuum back into the wall to no avail as those illusions get cleaned up by Eternal Envy.
And he keeps on pushing forward. The Megas are nigh. NP stronger and stronger by the moment, finding their footing, taking down that last Rax. And they're just about there, Lumi. It's only the tier 4s, the throne, all that remains. IG up against it, and they tap out. It's GG. NP have done it, showing that yesterday was not a fluke, but perhaps the start of something amazing.